all.
You could say that.
Something of yours, sir.
Maceranis. This is a rare gesture.
Have you thought of going to the keeper and begging for amnesty?
Andaran Atishan, stranger.
May the Dread Wolf never hear your footsteps, child. A ship. Something of yours, sir.
Maybe I should put you to use, Varric. Have you penned some warnings for the lawless?
Who's that for? Are most criminals big readers? Seems like pacifying the nobles.
Pictures, then. It was just a suggestion.
Well, how about a giant sign that just says don't? You could hit people with it.
Thank you. I get the point.
You must... really like the Hawke family.
Why do you say that?
You came all the way from Lothering with them, didn't you? And they're not even your clan.
Humans don't have clans, Meryl.
Exactly. You came so far together, and you didn't even have a...
I don't even wake Bianca for every threat anymore.
No further, human. Tal Vishoth control these passages.
Ambushes are usually quieter, Kunari.
I did not intend to ambush. I expected to warn a caravan, but you are not helpless. The path ahead is littered with my kind. If you are as skilled as you look, it would please me if you killed them.
And I should trust you.
I have no history of betraying your people, only my own. I did not like my role, so I left the queue. I do not wish to be a murdering thief, so I left these Tal Vishoth to warn their victims. You are no victim, so now I will leave.
I want a friendly way to get what I need.
You will be disappointed. They are reveling in chaos. It is a wretched freedom. I still need order, even if I insult the core of the Qun by selling my honor as a mercenary.
Do I really have to convince you to do the right thing?
I have already done more than was demanded, by my own choice. You have my word of caution, human. Heed it or do not.
The more they talk, the less I understand. Easy as...
thought it would.
Thank you very much for the help earlier, Varric.
I kind of like the Qunari.
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Javaris and your Arashok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
Ah, my right hand arrives. Summon your Arashok. The bargain is done. About time you showed. I've been here for hours. Illustrious Arashok, I am here to report that your hated Tal Vashoth were felled, one and all. Right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Say something.
The Tal Vashoth camped at the Wounded Coast are dead. You won't honor your bargain?
There is no bargain to honor. His offer for the Gatlock was refused, so he invented a task to prove his worth, when he has none.
I broke my beard getting your outcasts killed.
But he still has his beard. Do you think it hurts?
You hired someone more competent and now stand in their shadow pretending it is yours. You demean her accomplishment. Get out of my sight before I bother lifting my sword.
I did his dirty work. That debt stands.
Does it, dwarf?
You said yourself there was no bargain. I'm not getting a sodding thing out of this.
This human did what you could not, something I did not expect of any outsider, and you have involved me. If you made a bargain for the Tal Vashoth, that debt for their lives will be honored.
It's not at all. Take your coin, take whatever. Hornhead Oxman and mongrel donglords, suck your own powder and blow your head off, sod it.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here. Why do you bother me, human? The dwarf paid you. There is no more. Your kind thinks selfishness and want are normal. This city, all of it, leaves a bad taste.
If you despise this place, why haven't you left?
Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. You say we should leave, but how can you bear to stay in this chaos?
Why would anyone want to change it?
You like it?
It's a city of people living their lives, for good or ill.
Karastan are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. You allow chaos for good or ill, but one is clearly superior. Can you see how that certainty would benefit this whole city?
Sorry, I find myself distracted by deny and die.
And yet you accept the random violence that plagues this nation. I wonder if the weaker of your citizens would be so close to certainty. Our role may have to change, if the Qun demands. I suspect we are done, human.
I don't think Kirkwall would do well under military rule.
The rule of the Qun is not military. It is discipline and order.
How is that different?
To your limited understanding, it is not. You fear soldiers that arrive to remove your pitiable vices. But they do not control Qunari. The Triumvirate divides and governs. One is nothing without the others.
Can you tell me about the other two parts?
No.
Now you're just being difficult.
I am no more equipped to explain than you are to understand. Arishok, Arigena, Ariqun, pillars of the Qunari, of the nation that must be. There is but one way to know these things, human, and I have yet to decide if it must be done.
You're a long way from home. Why did you come?
To meet a demand of the Qun.
Which was?
It is a matter only the Qunari understand. We remain until we fulfill the demand of the Qun. Or until the demand changes.
You guard your powder carefully.
It is a tool that can only be allowed to exist under the ordered authority of the Qun.
It could benefit many people.
It does now. Just as swords benefit warriors, but are not given to children. Well, your children.
How many Qunari have you lost to the Tal Vashoth?
None.
Optimistic, considering my death toll.
We lose nothing when weakness abandons the Qun. It is the Tal Vashoth who have lost themselves.
I met an honorable one.
Doubtful.
He said he was a mercenary, not a murderer.
Then I know he made no claim to honor. When they sell themselves, little remains. He is not even dead to the Qun. He is a living insult.
Farewell.
Panahedan, human.
Daisy, for my sake, please quit cutting through the alleys in Lowtown alone at night.
Nothing ever happens. I'm perfectly safe, Varric.
Yes, I know. and that nothing is costing me a fortune.
You could do worse, Hawk. It's a roof.
Hard to believe they left with nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
Still their daughter. The eldest.
Get out of my face! Your mother's bad enough. I don't need you nagging me.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
You mean this is real? No wonder I can't wake up.
And here I thought that Ferelden you ran off with was a mage, not a jester. Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Oh, of course not. Why should you do something reasonable?
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
What daft bastard leaves that behind?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Maker, what a mess. I want to make things better for Mother. But some of what Gamlen says, I'm having a hard time hating him. Playing caretaker for someone else's life. Stuck in their shadow. That's no way to live.
And there it is.
Look, if you want to join the fight over who lost the most, fine. But I never lived here. Mother even gave me her old key to try and stir something. But I didn't know Grandfather. Finding his will doesn't matter to me.
You want a connection? This is where we'll find it.
The once mighty Amels? A bunch of slavers are squatting on that dusty glory.
What have you heard?
Uncle's a chatty drunk. He was up to his neck and signed everything over. That's who has the estate. Apparently, the most extensive wine cellar in Kirkwall is now a slave highway from the Undercity. That's the family legacy.
That sounds like an arrangement that needs to change.
And what if it does? We still aren't important enough to actually live in the place.
Baby steps, Carver.
All right, sister. If the key works, we'll clear the estate from the Undercity up. I don't know if this will help, but I do feel like hitting someone.
A Ferelden in the Guard. What will they think of next?
You have a problem with that?
Me? My family's not native either. I'm just surprised. A lot of old prejudice in the Guard.
I'll give them plenty of reason to change their minds.
You know, it's possible they're just scared shitless of you. That's my theory, anyway.
Walk in peace.
I bring you a priceless treasure.
Will everyone please just step? My mother's in labor. The baby's come early. Can anyone help her?
I'll send word to the healer. If you're seeking aid, leave your name with my girl. We serve everyone here. No one came from Ferelden without trouble. But I can't give priority to anyone who's already found work and lodging.
Is there a way I can assist these people?
If you've coin to spare, we won't turn it down. Donations go in the box up front. Anything else?
I just want to see your wares.
Look around. We don't often get customers with actual coin to spend.
Greetings, my lady. You look like a woman who'd appreciate the finest rubies from Antiva raising her lovely neck. I bring only the best northern merchandise to the free marches.
Actually, I'm more interested in your son.
My lady, I'm a bachelor. I've never met a woman of sufficient beauty and charm to tie Vincento down.
That's the best you can do with a guard staring you in the face.
Let us not ruin the day with such weighty thoughts. Perhaps I could show you my silks.
We're not Templars, Sirrah. Fainriel has nothing to fear from us.
Maldición, you are a mage. I suppose you'd be kind then to a boy who resists being taken in by Templars?
To an elf-blooded child abandoned by his human father? Of course we would.
The boy's in over his head. So I sent him to the only man I know who doesn't despise mages. A former Templar named Samson.
Why would a Templar help him?
His conscience plagues him, having served the Templars too long. He now helps mages on the run. He stays out of sight during the day. At night, he stays near Darktown. That's the best place to find him.
My. If it isn't Hawke.
Still up to old tricks, Elegant?
Lady Elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still working for that brutish thug, Mirren. Things have been going well since then?
Could be better. Could be worse.
I often feel the same way. You may recall I supplied the Red Iron with potions. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
Something of yours, Sirrah.
You have done a great kindness in returning this.
Did Lothering have any lineage?
It what?
Thaddeus. Stand straight. Place it. Welcome to the Black Emporium. All map. Crafting lore gathered from throughout Beta. Price is negotiable.
I think I found something of yours.
You found it? Ah, welcome, my dear friend, to Sol's shop. My name is Solivitus. Please, take a look around. My apologies in advance. Our shelves are a bit bare at the moment. Actually, if you're interested, I could use a bit of help to remedy that.
How can I help?
It's been too dangerous to leave the city of late, and the substances I require for my creations are, of course, elsewhere. Perhaps you could find them. You'll be compensated for your time, have no fear. I'll also give you first pick of my new creations.
Make up a list of what you need, and I'll keep an eye out for you.
Perfect. A discount on everything in the shop, Sirrah.
Many mages resent the history of the gallows.
How goes the search?
It does not trouble me.
Welcome back to Sol, my friend.
It is the duty of I can't wait until I've had enough training to meet a real mage.
So, what do you do, Avelie?
You know I'm a guard. Why are you asking?
I mean in your off-duty hours, for fun. You've heard of it, I hope.
These are my off-duty hours.
And the trend of you scaring the piss out of me continues.
You heard about that hero of Ferelden?
Yes. Why?
What makes a hero, eh?
I once fell asleep in that corner. It's quite comfy, if you don't mind. See?
So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the deep roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
Any entrance would do, wouldn't it? Well, unless a dragon's sitting in it, I suppose.
We need an entrance that's close to our destination, but isn't already plundered or filled with darkspawn. Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
We don't want trouble with the Grey Wardens, do we?
Let's look at our options first. I'd rather not fight a warden unless we have to. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talk to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
So...
I would like to know more about being a guard, Aveline.
I don't think that's the job for you.
I know, but it might help me not get caught.
You probably shouldn't have said that part.
Why?
Just...
You again. What do you want?
I hear you know where I can find a Ferelden Grey Warden.
Only Ferelden Grey Warden I've heard of is sitting on the throne. We're out of the Blight's path now. Why would you need a warden?
The healer was one of them once, wasn't he? A warden?
Well, he's not now, and busy enough without answering fool questions about it.
Who are you protecting?
You see what our people face in Kirkwall. They have no jobs, no homes. Most can barely buy bread. This healer, he serves them without thought for coin. He's closed their wounds, delivered their children.
And yet he needs to hide.
He's a good man. I won't lose him to the blighted Templars.
You mean he's a mage?
Would I stick my neck out for some purveyor of hensbane and leeches? He doesn't want to be locked in the gallows just for using the gifts the Maker gave him.
Your healer is in no danger from me.
If this mage is an apostate, the Templars will find him.
I suppose it isn't my secret to keep. Anders has certainly been free enough with his services. Refugees in Darktown know, to find the healer, look for the lit lantern. If you have need enough, Anders will be within.
I got 5 kids to feed. Where do I find...
Hey,
We heard you in there, asking about the healer. We know what happens to mages in this town, and it ain't gonna happen to him.
Does this really seem like a good idea?
Let's show these folks a little Ferelden justice.
I've never met a dwarf before.
That's because you've spent...
So, someone dropped off a message for you. It's on the desk.
Starve me out, banish me to this hole.
Tom Wise?
Huh? Oh, Hawk. Haven't seen you since Mirren hired me for that Red Iron job. Been a while. Heard you're going on some expedition into the Deep Roads. And right into Darkspawn territory. Sure that's wise?
We can't all make a living in the Undercity.
Just watch your back. That's all I'm saying. Say, you still in the market for some poisons? The Red Iron's been scarce, and business has been a little slow. You find any rare reagents and want me to whip you up something, just let me know. In fact, since you're an old friend, here's a recipe. My speciality. Everyone needs an edge sometimes, right?
Break some heads tomorrow.
Why don't you arrest us, Aveline?
What?
We break the law, I'm pretty sure. There are laws for almost everything. You're not a bad guard, are you?
No.
That's good. Is it because you're fond of Hawk? I kind of am.
How very nice for you. Keep it to yourself.
Let's finish this!
I won't need to be taller. I can reach things with a stick.
Mind your manners. This is my territory.
Rather be free down here, I guess.
I think I found something of yours.
Shh. I can't accurately express my gratitude, but thank you.
the Amel crest, I think. Mother described it once. Put that above your door and you better have the ties to back it up. Otherwise you just look old.
Making the world a better place, one enemy at a time.
Someone's left a surprise here for us.
I knew it. We should have slept easy as pie.
I'd love doing that. That has to be the vault.
That should do it.
If there's anything to learn about the family, that's where it is. So this is it. Grandfather's will. Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I'll head for the door soon enough. I want to look around first.
Stop looking at me.
What's your issue now, Little Hawk?
Don't Just don't, all right? You're looking for fodder for your stories.
Do you think you're that interesting?
I have enough trouble being overshadowed as it is. I don't need to get caught under an imaginary me, too.
Don't you worry. I'm not in the business of lullabies or children's stories. Be careful if you're going into the Rose. It's a favorite hangout of crime bosses and tax collectors.
Good day to you.
So, will anyone smite me if I tell you I killed the men who wronged your family?
Excuse me, who are... My post to the Chancellor's board. Did Her Grace let that stay? I thought for sure no one even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Sirrah. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Who are you exactly?
I am Sebastian Vale, Prince of Starkhaven. Her Grace might prefer I introduce myself as a brother in the Chantry, but I could not stay after what happened to my family.
Why didn't your family's enemies hunt you down as well?
That's why I took the offensive. Thanks to you, those Flint Company assassins are no longer a danger. I'm the last of my line. Unless I survive, my family will have no justice.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be no more than a pawn in this plot.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be no more than a pawn in this plot.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Your parents probably don't care much at this point, but I hope you sleep a bit easier.
Yes, I hope I will. Thank you. Consider this in advance. When I have secured my lands again, you will be paid royally. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the Viscount and petition him for aid to a fellow city. You know, Junior, you're looking at this all wrong.
Whatever it is you're about to say, I'm not interested.
I'm a professional younger brother. Trust me, the center of attention's the worst place to be. When things go wrong, and they always do, that's where all the fingers point. Look at any kingdom in Thedas. You've got people who warm thrones, and people nobody sees who do the real work.
And my sister is a queen in this scenario. Perfect.
Point? Missing
What
it.
I found?
Oh well.
Your reason for living.
Bless my fool spirit, I never thought I'd see that again. Thank you.
How was I to know she was...
Maker's blessing, child. I am Elthina, Grand Cleric of Kirkwall, and I believe you're new to our city. It was a near thing what happened in Ferelden, but in the end, the Maker stepped in.
I hear a lot about the Knight Commander here. What can you tell me?
Gossip is a sin, child. Knight Commander Meredith has an admirable devotion to her duties.
To the exclusion of all else.
It is not my role to form opinions on her character.
Why are Circle Mages here kept in a Tevinter prison?
Ah, so soon you take an interest in our problems. The short answer is it was a building, a large one. Should it have sat empty? The Chantry found a use for what was once a horror. It is the nature of men to move on and forget the past. Even your blight will be a distant memory in our lifetimes.
Can I get your benediction?
May the Maker bless and keep you. May his smile grace all the days of your life, and his light guide you to his side.
So let it be.
So let it be.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
Check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
Gamlen, how could you?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I doubt you let the ashes get cold.
I took care of Father. I stayed. And on his deathbed, all he could talk about was Leandra. Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make a willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Looks like the dog's trying to tunnel his way out of this hovel. Can't blame him. I think this is the same cheese that was here a year ago.
I know your face. I am Tobias, and you are a hawk. I remember your father. Malcolm was a good man.
My father must have left quite an impression. The letter I found was ancient.
I needn't tell his own child how special he was. As to the letter, it pained me to send news of the Templar's death.
The Templar?
He allowed your father to leave Kirkwall. Rule is not served by caging the best of us. A wise man.
Sounds like he didn't quite understand the job.
Doubt can serve the faithful, even as it vexes them. I fear this has been lost. I will send the letters I held. It seems fitting that they return to family. Such a friendship. Few like your father remain. Even fewer like the Templar. Rest well at the Maker's side, Sir Morivard Carver.
Hello, Lord Carver.
We're still a long way from cowing Templars with our titles, sister.
Is there something you would do differently, brother?
It's not up to me. We're on pace to recover an old name for an old woman. And when we're done, I don't know, I guess we'll sit around thinking about how great we used to be. Mother didn't even want that life back until we got dumped here. And you only care because we're under Templar scrutiny.
You hating everything I do is really losing its charm.
Sure, make light. Why take anything seriously? You're the eldest. You lead by default.
I don't see you taking the reins.
When should I do that? When I'm following you around, or when I'm caring for Mother while you tame mighty Kirkwall? Besides, we both know what happens when someone leaves dear sister's protection. I'm sure Bethany would appreciate that you're keeping good humor.
Poor you. Too busy hiding in my shadow to escape from it.
I am not a joke.
No. You're a lazy brat with a chip on your shoulder. Well, good talk.
Sister. I feel... I don't know. It's like Mother taking everything out on us. She was just scared. I don't have a place in the life she is trying to bring back. I'm here if you need me. But I must find my own way.
Here. I got you something.
Why?
I'm not holding you back with generosity. Just have a look.
These are by Father. Are you sure they aren't meant for you? I bet another mage could get more out of them. For your service that cannot be admitted, I ask that you accept this trinket and know that I shall respect your name. Thank you, Conscience of the Order, Sir Morivar Carver. Carver?
The Templar who allowed Father to leave Kirkwall. Your namesake.
A Templar? Have we met a Templar who isn't a colossal prig?
Father must have felt he was worth honoring.
A man who let him look ahead. And a name that would always mean skill thoughtfully applied.
Seems like he thought it held some promise.
Not a link back, but how to go forward. That's what I was to him. I don't know what to say, except thank you.
You remind me of Harin Pyvel, Varric. Only younger and shorter, and not as serious.
I thought this was last.
So, it's a close resemblance then.
Well, he tells stories, and you tell stories. Although none of his begin, "No shit, there I was."
I'll have to give him some better stories then.
This place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
Strange occupation for a warden. Aren't you more about taint and death? Not healing and salvation.
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat. Poor Sir Pouncelot. He hated the deep roads.
You had a cat named Sir Pouncelot in the Deep Roads.
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a Genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood, too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes. I'm here because there's no warden outpost, no Darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
I've always heard that joining the Wardens is for life.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the Darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the Archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
I'm part of an expedition into the Deep Roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted Deep Roads again. You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested. Although, a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal? You help me, I'll help you.
Let's be more specific. I don't do anything involving children or animals.
I have a warden map of the depths in this area, but there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend, a mage, a prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Carl through a maidservant in the gallows. Then the letters stopped coming.
You want to make your friend an apostate?
That's such a weighted term. Yes, Andraste said magic should serve man, not rule him. But I've yet to find a mage who wants to rule anything. It goes against no will of the Maker for mages to live as free as other men.
Forcing mages into servitude is not the way to prevent the rise of another Imperium.
That's not usually the response I get. Perhaps we will work together better than I expected.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been then the letters stopped coming.
I would help any mage in such circumstances. Map or no.
Now you're just trying to get on my good side. I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Carl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free.
Freedom.
Another messenger came by with a letter. It's on the desk.
Hear you're having problems with the Bone Pit. I can help.
Ah, finally someone comes to help me. You look a bit unseasoned, but I hope you'll do. I had to suspend operations. My workers are lost in the mines or have run off. Served me right for hiring Ferelden refugees. I sent others before, but no word. Perhaps they are putting me off. I need someone competent to figure out what is going on.
Your first mistake was naming your mine the Bone Pit.
The locals named the mine. Those fools say it's cursed. That is why I hire Fereldens. They may be dull-witted, but they're not superstitious.
Mind what you say about my countrymen.
I was not referring to you, of course. My workers are a particularly desperate sort. They're lucky to work for me. Few in Kirkwall will hire refugees.
Surely the miners had good reason to leave.
I am at a loss. No miner has reported in, and no one takes me seriously.
The Bone Pit must be dangerous if people are afraid to venture there.
No, nothing like that. Pay no heed to local superstition. The Bone Pit is mostly harmless.
You said some of your workers are Ferelden?
Yes, all of them. An unruly lot, to be sure.
What's the reward?
I will pay handsomely. The exact amount depends on what perils you face.
I'll head there soon.
The sooner the better. Each day the mine is not running costs me more than those miners make in a year. The Bone Pit is just outside the city. Any map will show it.
Not here to sell today, guardsman. My shipments.
I heard you lost something. This it?
I had never thought to see this again. Thank you.
You won't find better prices.
And here we are in the brothel. My day is complete.
Oh, it's so lovely. Let's not stay here for long.
Madame Lucine runs the place for Harlan. Or with him. Or on him. It's a coterie thing.
He didn't really ask you to wear a feather boa.
All lesions, darling. You get used to it.
I don't think I can do that.
You want me to do what? I don't think so. Piece of cake.
I heard you lost something. This it?
You found this? I don't know what to say.
Don't mind. There. Sandal's never been one for conversation.
Aveline?
I need a drink.
Welcome, Aveline.
You there, Ferelden. I wish to speak with you. You've gained quite a reputation with the Red Iron Mercenary Band. I find myself in need of someone with your special talents.
I'm guessing you don't mean my ability to juggle small rodents to Orlesian ballads.
If that is your greatest skill, then I have been misinformed. I am looking for muscle, not whatever it was you were just describing. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city.
A request that should have been made of the guard.
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
Is there anything else I need to know?
There is something, yes. There are creatures in the ruins. The guards I sent are ill-equipped to deal with such beasts.
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
It would be easier to seal up the entrance and let the beasts take care of him.
I believe in justice, Ferelden, not unbridled slaughter. I will not let prisoners be eaten just because I don't want to get my hands dirty.
I'm sure if you send in enough men this time, they'd do fine.
No. The more guards who know, the easier it is for this to get out. Those men gossip like old fishwives.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid, you'll have the gratitude of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
Fell into my hands. Recognize it?
Good day, Sirrah.
Insist if you must, but Viscount Dumas will see no one. If you've news of Seamus, I will relay it to him.
Fine. Tell Dumas my scouts have tracked the boy and his Canary captor to the Wounded Coast. I'm taking a full company after them, and when I return, I expect him to make a show of the reward.
So many to deal with one Kunari seems excessive.
He may be Tal Vashoth. The Winters leave nothing to chance. Get out of my bloody way!
Yes, what is it?
If this is about a rescue, that woman did not seem the type.
She is the type I feared we would attract. As I told the others, Viscount Dumas' son, Seamus, is missing. We suspect he was taken by a Kunari. If you would like to try your hand at securing his safe return, feel free. I have certainly granted no exclusivity to the Winters and their violent approach.
There must be suspicions about why the boy went missing.
Why? What have you heard?
Nothing. Until now.
There is truly nothing known. He is gone, and there have been sightings of a Kunari. The only complication is that Seamus is known to be of a sympathetic mind. He may have placed himself in danger, but it is danger nonetheless.
The Kunari are not wild in the city. Petition their leader for the boy's return.
The Arishok has declared that it is not his role to do so. Apparently their rebels, the Tal Vashoth, are hunted anyway, killed for what they are, not for what they may have done. That does not bode well for Seamus.
This isn't a task for a guardsman?
Yes, isn't it?
There is a concern of appearance. If we used guards, it would allow Viscount Dumas' opponents to say this admits the Kunari threat because the city responded. In these times, public embarrassment is preferable to official embarrassment.
I should know about the competition.
The Winters out of Navarra. They don't care one whit if Seamus is returned unharmed. Their lead, Sirrah Guinness, is hungry for a foothold in fair Kirkwall. And frankly, we have enough of their kind.
Ready the reward. He'll be back in no time.
Declare it if you like, but the reward goes to whomever brings him back safe. A discussion you are welcome to have with the Winters, should you encounter them, on the Wounded Coast.
Good to go.
The Viscount must be terribly busy.
Not much room in the barracks, but there's nowhere I'd rather be.
Hope the day is treated.
There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
So let's find out whose toes you actually stepped on.
Then we should check the duty roster.
and see who was supposed to take that route. What have I stepped in this time? Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go,
Guard
Captain.
will throw you out if you kick that wall one more time.
Fine day, Sarah. Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours.
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol.
Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnic for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap. Brennan said Donnic. A good man. Donnic. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day. Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day. Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
The Viscount must be terribly busy. I've been waiting most of the day.
What a terrible place to get lost. Not that there are many good places for that, I guess.
We going into those mines?
So it begins and ends.
Oh, good. I'm afraid this will be easy.
To arms! Here we go! Now you fall! Go down!
Lysandra, you came along. Them dragons would have sniffed me out for certain.
Hold on. What happened here?
I'll tell you what I can, but be a friend and keep your voice down. There's another dragon close by.
Where did the dragons come from?
We was mining a new tunnel when the wall collapsed, and dragons came through. It was a bloody slaughter. Scared out of my wits, I ran like my arse was on fire. It probably was, only I went the wrong way. Ended up trapped here.
Did anyone else manage to escape?
Some of my fellows ran for the surface. I hope they made it.
You should get out of here.
Don't have to tell me twice. You should leave too. But don't go that way. There's this huge dragon.
Oh, are we gonna go that way? I've never seen a huge dragon before.
I hear you're in need of a bit of help.
Ah, so you're the reinforcements the Magistrate promised? The man you're looking for, he's holed up in the ruins. Though I doubt he's still in one piece.
That bastard's to be brought in alive after all he's done? Just because it isn't you and your pretty little Shemlin children he's after.
Look at these guards. I doubt either of them has to worry about having pretty children.
That's not what I meant. The man you're after, he targets elves. He dragged my daughter into those ruins and killed her! I want him dead! My girl, Leah, she wasn't his first victim. Over the years, he's taken dozens of our children, and not once has he paid for his crimes.
Would you mind telling me who you are?
My name is Elrond. I'm a merchant in the city. Please, no one else cares that our children are being slaughtered like beasts.
There must be some humans who would take offense to these disappearances.
We're nothing to them. Even if this murderer does finally go before the courts, the magistrate won't take our word over his.
Why only elves? Why not human children as well?
We're easy prey. No one thinks twice when an elven child disappears.
I'm sorry about your daughter, but murdering this man outright is no solution.
No! Don't you understand? If you take him in, he'll be free again by nightfall.
You've so little faith in the law.
Unfortunately, I think he has total confidence in the law. That's the problem.
For all my damn coin, I'm still only an elf to these Shemlin. There'll be no justice for my girl in the courts of Kirkwall.
What do you say about all this?
Yes. What do you have to say?
They won't go in after him. They're stalling, trying to give the murdering bastard a chance to get away.
Oi now, elf. Like we said before, you're bleeding mad if you think we'll be going against the magistrate's orders.
This murderer cannot be allowed to walk free.
Then that bastard will finally get what he deserves. Thank you.
Not wise, stranger. You try to take justice into your own hands, the magistrate'll have your head.
Only if it's reported.
Well, we'll be quiet then. I knew this would happen. Gotcha!
I love that.
Brought their friends.
This is wearing on I am ready.